Hey everybody, JCB here with the Awesomist, and you're watching the Awesomist YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a breakdown of a Katy Perry music video, and that sounds weird just to say out loud. Apparently a lot of you guys have told me I need to do a breakdown of this video. I find that very strange. Let's go ahead and jump right in, shall we? Okay, so we got like a tiny house, there's a bunch of little tiny like vegetables, a bouncing ball hamster, giant hand of God comes in, opens a tiny plastic refrigerator. Why did you guys want me to review this? This is weird. What's that? Oh, there's a second video for this same song? Oh. Obviously, you guys are talking about the other video for this song, the one that was clearly filmed at Six Flags Magic Mountain. So I'll get into that in just a second. First, I do want to point out that the music is going to be muted for this breakdown for mostly obvious reasons, the chief one being YouTube's Content ID system. For some reason, the music industry has like a preferred status with YouTube's Content ID system. There is no fair use allowed on YouTube with the music industry's products. It's really weird. Video games, you can kind of get around it. You can submit your copyright fair use claim, and then you have like a 50-50 chance of it actually getting approved. Movies, same way. You could do movie reviews. It's considered criticism. It's considered a fair use. It's cut and dry. There are some instances where companies are assholes, but usually then you fight back if you can, and you get the thing up there. And the movie industry has learned that people are willing to go to court to defend their fair use, and so the movie industry has gotten a little bit better over the years. There's still a couple studios out there that are dicks, but for the most part, you can do movie reviews, and the studios aren't going to come down on you quite as hard. The music industry, though, they're not having any of it. They have a zero tolerance policy against using their music in your videos, even if it is fair use. Even if you're doing a review of the song, if you're criticizing the song itself, if you use a portion of that song, they're coming after you. And what they do depends on what company you're dealing with. Some of them just take all your monetization money, which wouldn't be a big deal. Some of them actually shut down your video and you'll get a copyright strike. And that's really what I'm concerned about. Because if you get 3 copyright strikes, you're done. That's it. So I don't want that to happen. I'm going to avoid that. So I'm going to mute the audio because Content ID mostly looks for the audio of music. The video will be okay because I'll be superimposed on top of it. And we'll be talking about it. And I can make a fair use claim for the video portion of it. For some reason, the music, though, I think it's because nobody has successfully sued and gone all the way up to the Supreme Court and argued for fair use and won, that the music industry is still able to just bully YouTubers around like this. Hopefully someday that changes. Right now, that hasn't changed. So in the meantime, I'm just going to mute the audio. You won't be able to hear the song, but it's not a great song anyway. This video is not really about reviewing the music, but it's just not... You expect a certain level of catchiness from a pop song like this, and it's just kind of whatever. It is one of her more like political songs. It seems to be about like the mundane nature of modern life and just, you know, going through the motions and all that stuff. And so there's some like political tones there, which makes it a little bit more of a downbeat song. Like, I think of Katy Perry, I think of her poppy songs, summertime type songs that people listen to, and it's happy, and it's all about kind of frivolous, fun behaviors and things like that that don't have any impact on people. This is a little bit more on the political side, and that's different. I'll give her that. I'm still not a big fan of her work. I probably couldn't name 5 of her songs. But that's not what we're here today for. Today we are here to talk about this music video and the fact that it was filmed at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Again, I'm not an expert on Six Flags Magic Mountain. I've said that many times. I just go a lot. I've had the season pass for a couple years now. We go pretty regularly, and so I know the park pretty well. So let's just jump right into this music video. Again, the sound will be off, but we're going to give you a breakdown, scene by scene, of what we're seeing, what they've changed, and what's different. So let's jump right in, shall we? Okay, so right off the bat here we have a completely faked shot. This is nothing that has to do with Six Flags Magic Mountain. This looks like Epcot. There's like water slides here, but they're way too flat to be water slides. You get stuck somewhere right about here. There's these like Space Mountain type of looking things. Yeah, this is all computer generated clearly. Not even very well. Now that I actually look at it. Yeah, there's a big shadow here on the side, but then shouldn't there also be shadows on the sides of the trees? And I don't... Whatever. Moving forward, this is all a computer-generated shot. Doesn't apply to us. Here we have the opening entrance to Hurricane Harbor. If you haven't been to Six Flags Magic Mountain, the opening to Six Flags is here. People kind of lined up right here. And then across the way behind you and off to the side a little tiny bit is where they actually have the opening to Hurricane Harbor. And it looks just like this, except it doesn't have this big ol' Oblivia sign on top with the hamster. That's not there. But it's basically this is the exact same opening to Hurricane Harbor. They probably use the opening to Hurricane Harbor because the opening to Six Flags Magic Mountain doesn't quite look so whimsical. Hurricane Harbor has all these palm trees. It's supposed to look very like Caribbean and beachy and stuff like that. Where the opening to Six Flags Magic Mountain has a bunch of shops and a bunch of concrete, and it looks very much like a traditional theme park opening. So I understand why they use this. It's kind of throw people off the scent a little bit that this is just Six Flags Magic Mountain. So continuing forward here, this is also Hurricane Harbor behind her. So what I'm thinking, because she's walking through the turnstiles here, coming up in just a second, yeah, she walks through the turnstiles here. I'm thinking that she's walking out of the park. And I'm pretty sure that's the case because these are the fingerprint scanners. You stick your fingerprint in there. Oh, stick your fingerprint in there. And it tells you whether or not you're allowed to get into the park. The fingerprint scans your file because when you get a season pass, they scan your fingerprint. So if you have a season pass, you run your season pass, do your fingerprint. They say, yes, this is actually you. You're the holder of the season pass. You can go in. So she's walking out the inn. And I think the reason they did that is, again, because Six Flags Magic Mountain is directly across. A little bit, like I said, a little bit off to the side, but basically directly across. So if they had shot this scene from the actual inside the park, pointing outward, you'd see the queue for Magic Mountain back behind her. They obviously didn't want that, so using some clever camera angles to kind of get around that fact. Moving forward, this is kind of a composite shot between actual Six Flags Magic Mountain footage and computer-generated trickery. This is the loop for the New Revolution, which is currently blue, so they just did some quick color correction to make that look green. This is Six Flags Magic Mountain Tower, which has been not opened for a long time, and obviously they have changed it white and put a weird little top on it and made it this weird house-spinning Pukinator ride that would probably make me want to die. This looks like a piece of Scream. This looks like a piece of Scream, and they've thrown it in there using computers just to make it look more busy at the opening of this park. So yeah, it's kind of a mixture between actual stuff and computer-generated imagery. So all that's fake in the background. This is another computer-generated shot. Obviously, this gray water tank doesn't exist. Let's see here. This looks like a piece of Tatsu, if I'm not mistaken. This also looks like a piece of Goliath, but maybe it has been digitally inserted into this shot that doesn't actually exist. Again, this tower doesn't exist. That tower doesn't exist. Epcot Center is not at Magic Mountain. So this is all just stuff they've thrown in to make this place look more futuristic and different. So moving forward here, this looks like kind of the area by the front of Hurricane Harbor. This is one of those little tiny kiddie water slides. And I like this ride here in the background. This does not exist in reality. None of this stuff back here does. Yeah, no, none of this is actually real. Except for this. This looks like it could be... Oh, that's X2. What am I thinking? Of course it's X2. Little drop, big drop, X2. This looks like Looney Tune Land, which is actually just on the other side of a fence from Hurricane Harbor. This does not exist at the actual park. Of course, again, Epcot Center doesn't exist. This right here, like I said, it looks pretty cool when I push play. Watch that ride. It's pretty neat. This is all Looney Tune Land. So here's that ride. It all falling like a sequence of dominoes. That's pretty neat. More Looney Tune Land. You can see this is the shack in the Taz truck ride for little kids. This is pretty much in the middle of the park at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It's a little kid area where they have Looney Tune themed rides. So that's where they filmed this, probably because there's lots of tree coverage, there's lots of kind of whimsical looking buildings and stuff. Makes it look a little more interesting visually than some of the rest of the park, which is more concrete and you know, soda shops and things like that, souvenir shops, just lots of stuff like that. So Looney Tune Land is a little more colorful, a little more bright and friendly. And yeah, I think it fits. This, again, we have the new Revolution loop, turned green. This doesn't actually exist. It's like some weird monorail ride they've created. This is like a spinning thing attached to a bunch of balloons or something. I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be, but it doesn't exist. That is Elmer Fudd. And that right there is Elmer Fudd. So yeah, clearly Looney Tunes land. They should have covered that up. Maybe move this cotton candy down a little more, so that, or maybe put somebody standing in front of it holding cotton candy, so you couldn't see Elmer Fudd clearly right there. But yeah, you know, you got stuff like that. The Great American Dream Drop. This is that house ride. You get inside the house. There's no restraints. You just sit on a couch. You can cut your hand on flowers, apparently, roses. You can see Tidal Wave in the background there. This is Full Throttle. Full Throttle clearly because you can see the cart very much looks like the Full Throttle cart. And actually, if you're doubting that this is Full Throttle, my wife actually sent me a picture from the Instagram account rmountain_thrill park. And they posted, I'll put it up on the screen, they posted a behind the scenes shot of basically this this exact shot here where they take off at Full Throttle. You can see Full Throttle is written there on the cart, just outside of camera view there. But yeah, so we're going forward with this. And people just waiting inside the cart. You can see the big loop behind them there. And then they blast forward just like the start of Full Throttle. And there you can see the Love Me sign. Now, obviously, because we saw basically this shot being filmed in the behind the scenes photo, these walls on either side of them are not actually there. Those have been added in by computer, and that tower in the background is not actually there. It's been added in by the computers just to make things look a little different. Again, try to hide it. And that might as well just be publicity footage. There are shots like this right here. You can go to MagicSixFlags.com and just go to the Magic Mountain page. And they have footage of all the rides on there, and they have press footage specifically for Full Throttle that anybody's allowed to use for their videos. And they could have just went there and got this shot exactly because it's up on the site. And then you got more Full Throttle footage. There's the house drop. Like, that would just fucking hurt. That would, you're falling, you're attached to basically a cable. That's gonna hurt. There's no absorption of the fall. You're just getting yoinked around. Like, that would be a terrible ride. I don't know why anyone would ride that at all. This could be, maybe it's symbolic of like a housing crisis. Like, you buy a house, then the market falls out from underneath you. Maybe that's what this is supposed to be. But I would not ride this ride. That looks painful. And then here we have a line queue with little arrows on the ground that would totally get stomped and destroyed if they were real. This is kind of neat. This is Samurai Summit. I'll get back to that later, though. They show that more. We got more of the loop here, going upside down, and then you go into the tunnel. Now, this tunnel does exist on Full Throttle, but it's not heart-shaped. They clearly manipulated that with the computer. And then there's all these little emoji things on the side. I think it would be cool to have some more lights in the tunnel so that you can really tell you're moving through something, because it kind of goes by pretty quick. So something there to kind of register movement would be neat. So we got the tunnel, and then we got this. This annoys me a little bit, just because it's not physically possible to throw a coaster into the air and then catch it on the other side like this thing's going to do. I do a video every year. It's my annual What Six Flags Magic Mountain Should Do video. And I do it usually in late August, because on September 1st of every year, Six Flags does their big announcement video of their plans for the following season. And my videos are always based in reality. People give me a lot of shit for some of my ideas. They say that was impossible, that would never work, blah, blah, blah. And you can make the argument that Six Flags doesn't have the money to do some of the things that I proposed. I understand that. They're not Disneyland. They don't have just tons of money sitting in a bank somewhere because they made an Avengers movie. Like, Magic Mountain doesn't have that going for them. But my videos are never, this is what will happen. They're not predictions. They're kind of a wish list. Like, if Magic Mountain had the money, this is what I would like them to do. That's the point of my video. And I always get comments from people that you can't do that, that's impossible. But nothing I've suggested is impossible. This right here is fucking impossible. You can't make a heart-shaped loop that tosses people through the air. You can't make a house ride that drops you on a cable and doesn't fucking break your back. Like, that's impossible. So that just kind of annoyed me. Here we got a line queue, which is 1,984 hours long. I haven't been to Six Flags since January. I think it was January 2nd or something like that. It was whenever I posted that bad trip to Six Flags video. That was the last time I went. I haven't been back since that day. kind of waiting for things to slow down a little bit again. I've never been to Six Flags Magic Mountain on a day where the line was 1,984 hours long. You just don't get in the line that long, because obviously that's more time than you probably have. This is kind of cool though. Samurai Summit has these red and black railings that go along the edges of the hill. Basically, this is the big mountain that you walk up and down all day long, by the way. So Samurai Summit has red and black, and they've changed it to kind of this purpley and gray color. Kind of neat. I actually wouldn't mind having a color scheme like that at the park. I think it'd be kind of cool to change some of the colors around, because they just color corrected all this stuff to make it look like it's purpley. With this weird Love Me validation station, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Is like the photo booth or something? I'm not sure. And then the number is 9,478 versus 17. I don't get that. I don't know if that's a reference to something that's supposed to symbolize something. It's lost on me. I'm not a Katy Perry connoisseur. This is the safe trip something. Basically, they fling people through the air and they land, hopefully. Is that supposed to be like the dangers of flight? I don't know. This is Bombs Away. And there's a bunch of them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these Bombs Away rides, where a rocket apparently launches up this and then falls and zips around a little bit before exploding, I assume. This is actually Superman Escape from Krypton, and they apparently liked this ride so much that they decided to put a ton of these things in this music video. If you watch again, you'll notice they pop up in a lot of the background shots. They just really love this ride, apparently. To me, it seems like kind of a suicidal thing, because you're just going to fall to your death. Maybe this whole park is like a suicide theme park. Like, you go to this magic oblivion park if you want to die. That would make sense. That would explain a lot of this. Here we got more Looney Tune Land. This clearly just more Looney Tune Land. And then there's this weird hamster wheel thing. This, interesting enough. Apparently, first of all, this is the ride everybody's waiting for. They're waiting for their chance to run on a giant wheel. Symbolism. This is filmed at the plateau of the mountain where Superman Escape from Krypton's entrance is. There's a big flat surface, has a giant Superman S on the ground, and it's basically just a big flat concrete slab. And apparently they decided to put this giant wheel set piece up there on the slab and film this scene, which is kind of cool. It's a big space. Really good use of this space would be to film something like this. So that's pretty cool. I kind of think that's neat. They filmed that there. I wouldn't wait 1,000 hours to ride a wheel of concrete. Kind of strange. This is actually kind of interesting. This is the gas station outside Riddler's Revenge. You can see Riddler's Revenge right here. All of this, the sign, this little sign down here, I think the Inferno H2O and these fluorescent tubes are all digitally added. But what is interesting to me is how nice the gas station looks in this. So I don't know how much of this is obviously the sign's computer generated. Obviously, this up here has been computer generated. And this junk back here. But I wonder if they actually painted this. I wonder if Six Flags said, we're going to have them film here. Let's make it look as nice as we can. So let's put a fresh coat of paint and everything. If they did, that would be really nice, because this part of the park looks pretty run down right now. So if they actually went through and cleaned it up and painted it up, I mean, she is touching it. There's like chip paint and it looks just run down. At least it did last time I went. Again, I haven't been since January. But last time I was there, it looked horrible. They really need to spruce up this part of the park. If they made it look this nice, that would be fantastic. And I feel like just because of the way she interacts with some of these things, that they might have actually retouched this up. Like they might have gone through and painted it and cleaned it and just made it look nicer again. But it's hard to say. You really can't tell just based on this little bit of information. Obviously, the blue balls aren't going to be there. This is interesting because this seems to be a composite shot. There's obviously Twisted Colossus right here. You got Goliath right here. And then there's this junk back here that doesn't actually exist in this giant TV. I feel like this was shot on location underneath Twisted Colossus, right there, right by the parking lot. And then they added in all this other junk to make it look more futuristic. I could see them actually putting up a big fake TV and maybe doing projection or just having a green screen on there. They could add things to it later. But this is interesting because it's supposed to be like a 3D theater with lawn chairs. And then we got more. This guy falls, yeah. hilarious. Oh my god. And they're watching a show about being a housewife, and in the background there's the Ferris wheel that doesn't exist. And then, yeah, they're just like scribbling, and some of this seems like it's filmed on location, some of it seems like it might be a soundstage. Like this could be either way. This could be like a painting in the background, like a matte painting. This could be plastic tubing. But it's probably actually shot on location, just with like a green screen in the background that they added this stuff to. That's most likely the case. That's my best guess. Again, we got more fake rides in the background. This looks like it might be Wonder Woman. Maybe they filmed Wonder Woman at night and then digitally added it to this shot. That would make sense to a degree. Now this looks like it is filmed under Twisted Colossus. I do believe that, but there's reasons why I think this might be a composite between actually shot at Six Flags Magic Mountain and then also shot on a soundstage, and it's mostly this dance number. Some of these shots, particularly from this angle, when they're pointing straight down, it makes it look like it's on a stage. So this looks like it's there. This looks like that is not the ground below Twisted Colossus. The ground below Twisted Colossus is parking lot space that was overtaken by the park, and they built roller coasters on it. And so a lot of it has old parking space lines like still painted onto it. That's all cracked and it's broken, and it's fine because it's below a ride. Nobody's ever doing anything down there except for maintenance guys. But it doesn't look like that. That looks like a stage. So I think they filmed this dance sequence twice. That is cool, by the way. I have to stop mid-sentence because if they put lights on the side of Twisted Colossus like this, that would be so fucking cool. Now, granted, the park's main season is summertime. The sun doesn't set till like 9 o'clock at night sometimes. The lights wouldn't be really beneficial during their main time of year, but the rest of the year, when the sun goes down 6, 7, sometimes 4, having lights running while you're on the ride would be fucking awesome. That would just be cool. But yeah, you got shots like this where it's probably there, filmed on location. Shots like this where it's on a soundstage. I feel like that's what they did. We got more of the dance number. That's basically where the video ends. You got her deciding she's not going to run on this giant wheel anymore. That's just good because it's a stupid ride. Then everybody's just kind of dancing underneath Twisted Colossus and on a soundstage. And that's your video. And she just realizes she made a horrible video. So that's my breakdown of Katy Perry's Chained to the Rhythm Six Flags Magic Mountain music video. I do think it's interesting how they took the park and kind of added to it to make it their own. That was all kind of cool to see. Some of it looked like it was taken out of like Roller Coaster Tycoon or No Limits 2, and the shading on the CGI just wasn't quite up to par. But it was still kind of cool. I do think I want to go on half those rides. A lot of spinning rides, like I just feel like I'd be throwing up all day long because those aren't fun for me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and me talking about the different ways they changed Six Flags Magic Mountain. If you did enjoy it, be sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I, of course, release new videos every week. So until next time, keep being awesome. Worth a damn. I purposely bought one that works with my GoPro since that is my camera of choice whenever I'm out and about. Basically, it works by sliding weights into this tube. The tube can be adjusted left or right, and the effect can be adjusted by adding different counterweights. There is also a knob here for adjusting the camera. And after you get it perfectly balanced, it still really fucking sucks.